Hello, everybody. It's Friday morning here in California, and I am. Uh, this is Christi's Clarity, and I'm here to give you a helpful hint today to help you move forward in your life. So we are actually going through. Let me get my book here. We are actually going through month by month my book, Beyond the Box Creative Thinking Expanded. And and last month we went through the first chapter, which is Point. And Point is all about where are you now and where do you want to go. And so it's really clarifying your vision and your dream. And this month is Line. So those of you who don't know that much about my book, you can go to beyondtheboxbook.com and you can see a description there, and you can purchase it there for $16 plus shipping, and if you buy it from that site, I sign it. But that's not my point. The point is the first chapter starts with Point. I took the universal laws I took the universal laws and I applied them to art principles. And that way, people that are more like me, that think more visually, or maybe a little bit out beyond the box thinking, uh, they would kind of resonate with that more. So, the first four, I'll just go through those quickly. Uh, in the chapter, in the book, are Point, where are you now? Where do you want to go? Line, how do you connect the line to get from where you are now to where you want to go? And then Shape, which is where you take that line and you connect it to create a container, which the container is created by your support team and the assets, who you are in this moment. And that's where you pour your dream into, or your life design, your vision for your life into. And the fourth one is my favorite, which is color, right? The color, right? And color is for passion. Like, what is the passion you need to move you forward? So today, this month starts Line. How do you get from where you are to where you want to go? Or, as the title says, how do you get from here to there? Now, one of the things that about dreaming, people say, well, aren't we supposed to live in the present moment? Well, it's kind of like going on a trip, right? Yes, you want the present moment, and you don't necessarily, unless it's a road trip, you want the destination more than you want the journey. Although I love road trips and the journey, even on this spiritual path that we are all on, this journey can be pretty darn cool. So you want to look at, so last month we looked at where are you now and where do you want to go. That's just like, and we talked about the PGS last week. It's like, how do you input into your GPS, or your personal guidance system, PGS, of where you want to go. Now, if you don't go there, if you don't put that in, or if you don't look at the directions, then you're going to go anywhere. And sometimes that can end up being great, but we have an impulse within us to bring our masterpiece, that we came here to give to. We have the impulse and the urging to want to bring that into the world. Is that's like the passion, the thing that pulls us forward. But we need directions. We need a plan. And yes, we want to live in the present moment, and we want direction to get to where we want to go, or we're going to, in Alice in Wonderland, remember the Mad Hatter? And Alice said, no, it was the Cheshire Cat. And Alice said, well, I don't remember what she says, but what the Cheshire Cat says, well, you can go that way, or you can go that way, or it doesn't matter as long as you go somewhere. Well, we want to go, I want to further develop my international travel programs for self-discovery, right? And so I can't just be in the present moment other than making the arrangements in the present moment. there does need to be some planning, some dreaming, some goal setting. Okay, that's the thing that allows us to move forward in an intentional way. So today is about line. How do you get from here to there? So one of the ways that you get from here to there is step by step, right? You're gonna go, oh, you cheated me, you gypped me, you tricked me. You need to take one step at a time. And if you look at the steps that you need to take in the direction of your life design, your purpose, your masterpiece, you take it one step at a time. Now, this isn't always easy for people, right? So you hear the beeping out there. Well, they're out in the front of my house grading after they put in the plumbing, the sewage line to go to the new unit, the apartment we're building in the back. Now, I would not be almost at the end of this project if I didn't take it step by step, but it started with the blueprints, right? And that's what your vision is. But once I had the blueprints, I had to take it step by step. I had to get the permits first. That was the first thing to do, and that took a long time. Okay, so, and my point to that is patience. Patience is a virtue when you are wanting to get to your dream, because otherwise we have a tendency to want to just say, oh, this is too much work, or that's taking too long. If I wouldn't waited for that long period for the permit to get through the process, then I wouldn't be coming up on the end of it. So let's take your personal life today, right? So let's say you have even just a goal or a vision to go on a vacation. I'm getting ready to plan next year's Italy trip. Hopefully you watched me on Facebook with all the exciting adventures that we had. And so your trip, your vacation, your next thing that you want that brings you freedom and enjoyment to life, because that's what life was for. Life is for enjoying, right? Because what happens when you have a goal, say, to develop a career, and like this week has been my star week of weeks of weeks. So because I've been gone out of the country, all of my clients, sometimes they're every 2 weeks, sometimes some are once a month, things like this, but they all came in this week. So I had all of my clients this week, and I got to experience like self-discovery and breakthroughs and great awarenesses all week long. And what a joy that was to have a week fulfilled of, yes, there was hard work to develop my programs, to develop my clientele, to do all of those things step by step. I do have one client right now that she's in really some deep uncovery work, right? And she gets so frustrated from week to week that it didn't all just happen, and the doubt comes back in. But one of the things I say is take it, just see, have you made more steps forward this week than you have last week? So my mentor, Mary Morrissey, always says that you can use baby steps to climb Mount Everest, right? So just remember that as you're taking steps, honor and celebrate each little marker as you go along. Did you do more today in the direction of your vision, of your dream? And then if the answer is yes, celebrate that. Celebration is a vibrational frequency that is like getting in the draft of a big semi truck. We drove a lot when I was a kid, and my dad would get like in the draft of the semi truck because it would pull him along, and it actually would save him on gas, right? And so use celebration in that way. This week I want to encourage you to look at what you can celebrate, and even if you have disappointments, see what you can celebrate in that. Another client this week had somebody that really upset her, and And in the beginning, she couldn't look at a way to be grateful for that situation. But in our session, it really helped us uncover a lot of things that allowed her to have some deep clarity and realizations. And so then at the end, she was going, I am so grateful that he did that, right? So how can we, and that's actually called a turnaround, right? So if something happens to us this week, ask yourself, how can I celebrate in this moment? Not that it was good, not that it was right, but that it causes you to grow, or things that do cause you to grow. Okay, everybody, look forward to seeing you next week when we continue on how do you get from there to here. This is Christi of Christi's Clarity, and have a great weekend and a great next week. Take care.